So if anyone wants to see me definitely cry this year, if anyone wants to definitely see tears rolling down my face as I try to hold back the sobs, it's going to be when Macho Man Randy Savage gets put into the WWE Hall of Fame. Shut up. It's about goddamn time he gets put into the fucking Hall of Fame. The fact that he's getting put into the Hall of Fame as first ballot 2015 is still fucking insulting to me. First ballot 2015? Eat my dick.
Well, there are no first or second ballots. It's just you're in.
Well, no, they say he's the first entry. It doesn't mean anything, but that's what they're saying. Yeah. I am beyond happy that he is finally getting put in. I mean, we're not going to talk. I'm going to try not to talk too long about it because we did a lot of wrestling. But the man was probably, in my opinion, the greatest wrestler, at least of his generation, if not, and certainly one of the greatest of all time. His ring skills, while not as flashy as what we have today, were the inspiration to tons of wrestlers to be the types of wrestlers that they are today. The man had proportionally low number of championships for his high level of what's the word I'm looking for the high level of
popularity.
His popularity and the inspiration he gave to future wrestlers.
Two WWE championships, one WCW.
No. Two WWF, 4 WCW, 1 IC.
That's it.
That's all he had.
He had 4 WCW? Really? Well, I remember the one when he was in NWO.
So the thing is his WCW run wasn't really great. And it's not necessarily Randy Savage's fault. That was after he had some serious neck surgery.
Yeah, he was retired from WWE.
Yeah, he retired from WWE, got called back. Ted Turner called him. He was like, okay, let's make more money. But he had neck surgery. He couldn't move like he used to. And the booking was awful around that time anyways. But all of his stuff in the WWF was fantastic. He's being inducted. This is where I get really kind of pissy, is in 2 spots. They interviewed his brother, Lanny Poffo, Lanny Poffo,
who was also the Genius.
And the 2 podcasts, he paints a different story. On the one, he actually says it was always Randy's dream to have the Poffo family inducted into the Hall of Fame at the same time. In the other, and that's why he held on for so long. In the complete other podcast he did days later, he basically apologized to his brother up in heaven and said, I hope you don't hold it against me. I learned to let go. So whatever the case may be, he's getting in there. What bothers me more is that Hulk Hogan is doing his induction. And that, I don't want to get too angry.
They had a lot of animosity in real life between Hogan and...
And they say that they patched it. Hogan likes to say that they patched it up. But
the same way he patched up with the Warrior, but that was more like we probably hugged it out for a minute and then talked for 10 minutes, and that was it. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean you're friends.
But a lot of people say that up until the end, Randy's animosity towards Hogan and Hogan's towards Randy was pretty high. And I don't know that Hogan really deserves any animosity towards Macho Man, because Macho Man helped push him through very important times. You have to understand that these guys wrestled together, wrestled against each other over 100 matches. Mm-hmm. How many of them did Randy Savage win? 0.
Yeah.
Macho Man Randy Savage beat Hulk Hogan 0 times.
Macho Man helped give Hogan this sort of second resurgence in the late 80s.
Yeah, with the Mega Powers.
With the Mega Powers. I always confuse which WrestleMania was which. I believe he won the championship at WrestleMania 4. Was it 4?
It's 4, and then they exploded at 5.
Then he turned heel throughout the year. Macho Man, and then Hogan won it from him at WrestleMania 5. So that was a really awesome angle, just because of the slow burn that they don't do anymore.
Nope.
Took a full year to do it, or you had the face turn slowly, or heel turn very slowly, jealousy over Miss Elizabeth, and that really helped Hogan. It rounded his character out more and helped refresh him, because by that point Hogan had been the top of the company since '83. That was, what was that, 5 years? So already, usually, once you get to 5 years, people want something else, something new.
Yeah.
And it should have been Savage, and he was huge because he won the championship at WrestleMania 4. But then it went back to Hogan. And then Savage never really got up to that height anymore. Then he won it the second time against, Flair?
Flair. He won it against Flair, and then he held it until he lost it to Warrior. And then he didn't really retire right after that. He appeared one more... he went back to Miss Elizabeth, went face, appeared one more time as Macho Man, not Macho King, so he could leave WWF as Macho Man, and then that was the end of it.
He lost the title to Warrior? I thought he only won the title once, Warrior.
He lost the title. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't the title. Maybe it wasn't.
He lost his career match.
Yeah, that was a career.
At WrestleMania 7.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah. He lost his. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, which was a good match, very good match, especially Warrior's best match probably.
I go back and forth on it. It's an interesting mix of, and we've talked about it before, but it's an interesting mix of Savage's meticulously planned out style and Warrior's comic book persona. I've said it before. I hate the fact that he no-sells the elbow drop 5 times, but it's a good match.
No, he sold it. He didn't get up. He just kicked out. He didn't no-sell him. He was down on the mat for 3 minutes.
He no-sold 5 of them.
No, he didn't. He sold them. He just kicked out.
He kicked out. That's still, to me, no-selling a finisher.
No, he no-sold the pedigree. At WrestleMania 12, right. That was no selling before the fans kill you.
I know what no selling is.
Okay,
you can use it in a couple different contexts.
It didn't finish him off.
Yeah,
but the thing about Savage, why he was so good, is that he switched back from face to heel twice in WWE. He went back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Love the interviews. The 360. Yeah. The thing about Savage, people understand. I shed a tear when he died.
I did. I always say when Twitter goes crazy with celebrity deaths, there's only been 2 that have greatly affected me. Maybe 3. One was Hunter S. Thompson. The other one was Philip Seymour Hoffman. But the one that I actually shed tears was Macho Man Randy Savage. Not gonna lie about it. I cried when the man died.
I miss when Hunter Thompson died. He died? He died in 2005.
Yeah, he killed himself.
Oh. Okay.
I was okay with this choice.
Okay with this choice?
If you read a lot of Hunter S. Thompson, you realize that's probably how he was going to go.
The thing about Savage, though, is, especially for the Hulkamania era, he was the second most well-known, most popular wrestler before Warrior. That 1 or 2 years where Warrior was huge, he was the most well-known wrestler.
Yeah.
He was on talk shows, and WWE did a great induction video. Which showed he was on Arsenio Hall. He was always funny, always well-educated, always answered the questions correctly. Now, of course, when it came to stuff like the steroids, he had to say, no, I haven't done it. Of course, later he admitted he did because everyone did.
Yeah.
But he had to say it because he saw himself as a role model for the kids, so he couldn't say that he did steroids back when everyone else was doing it. And then, of course, there was always the rumors about him and Stephanie McMahon when she could have been young and something might have happened. There's always been this really weird sort of rumors about that.
Those seem to have vaporized in recent years, but I don't know.
You can't say, but people say that maybe that they had an inappropriate relationship when she was still a teenager. Who knows? That could have been the reason why he didn't come back. But he did come back. He came back for a year ago. It was a year and a half ago. Or was it already 2 years? When he came back to the studios to do the promotion for the WWE that WWE game on the new systems.
Yeah.
So then you thought, oh well, he's gonna be back again. Then he's dead. Unfortunately, that was 2 years ago. He's already been dead. That's right.
Yeah.
So
2011, I think is when he died. Actually,
was it really? It's been that long.
I thought it was 2. Okay. Yeah, I think he had a heart attack in 2011, September, or something like that. But the other thing that was interesting for
May 2011.
Okay.
So it's been.
Wow, I was close.
4 years almost. Holy crap.
The last thing I'll say about Savage that I think really meant that he was something special, at least for me, was even as a kid, when you always loved the faces, I loved Savage whether he was heel or face. It didn't matter.
King, you like the Macho King?
Yeah, I was a Macho Man Randy Savage fan, whether good or bad. I didn't give a shit. You know, it was just that was the guy.
You loved the character.
Yeah,
he was obviously very intelligent. His promos were the best at the time.
I would.
You can go on people if you don't like pro wrestling. I know some of our audience doesn't. Go just on YouTube and put in Macho Man promo, and they'll have like a 10-minute string of his crazy but hysterical promos.
Most of which he did off the top of his head.
Yes.
Yeah, almost all of them he did off the top
a lot
of
of times playing off the brilliant Mean Gene Okerlund, who played his straight man part perfectly.
Him and Mean Gene were the best promo couple.
Yes, they were just good because Mean Gene always had to be like, oh, I can't believe they both played their parts well. Again, when Macho Man died, it was all over the news, ESPN. He touched people's lives. People don't realize it. Like, yeah, you take Hogan out of the equation, and it was Macho Man. He was the guy people remember from that era. And that's why it's surprised that it took until now for him to get in the Hall of Fame.
When you Google stuff about wrestlers, you normally don't see it on real sports websites. When I went to go Google, him being inducted into the Hall of Fame, it was on real sports websites. Like, he is one of those guys that is considered, one of those very athletic. He was taken very seriously, because he took his craft seriously. Yeah. Real sports websites or real sports news took him seriously.
Obviously, great psychology in his matches. The WrestleMania 3 Steamboat match stole the show.
So good.
And it may not. It's regarded one of the best matches of all time. And when you look at it now, you might say, "Oh, what's the big deal?" Before that match, there weren't matches like that.
Right.
That's what when you watch that match, realize that there weren't matches with that sort of pace, that sort of storytelling, that well done like that. That's why that match is so important.
I'm fairly certain when we got the WWE Network, I think that was the very first match I showed Vani, and in my head I'm like, I'm taking a big risk doing this, but she was like, "Oh, that was pretty cool." I'm like, sweet.
She got it. Yeah. She got the storyline.
Right, exactly. She understood
the interference
all that
stuff. She understood it.
Yep.
The story with the neck, everything.